Hello everyone, it's been a long week. I had mentioned on a couple of pages that I was going to do videos about my experience with cancer. I was diagnosed with cancer a couple weeks ago. Found out that it was really untreatable last week. Actually, this week, Tuesday. So, I was going to tell the story of how it happened, and I'm going to just kind of break it down into a few short videos. How it originally came about was I got in a car accident last August. I was having problems with the doctors, with my orthopedist. I decided to switch doctors. Actually, I'd been switching back and forth from both these medical places since I moved to northern Michigan and hadn't really been happy with any of them. I should go into the story, but I'm not gonna. So, one thing leads to another. I go to this doctor. They take an x-ray on my shoulder. They say, nothing's wrong with your shoulder outside of maybe the two tendons that were torn in it, and we'd already known about. And in spite of that, they found a dent spot in my lung. They just kind of let it go as possibly scar tissue, you know. In the meantime, I was having stomach problems. I thought kidney problems. They did a urinalysis, came back, no problem. They did an ultrasound. Didn't really think they'd find anything, but they found a spot on one of my kidneys, an unusual spot. So that brought them back to the dent spot in my lung, and they decided to take a look at that. Well, when they did the CAT scan on that, they found a spot within that dent spot in my lungs. After that, I went through PET scan, biopsy to determine that it was actually cancer. And then a few weeks went by, a couple weeks went by, whatever. I got set up with the appointment with my cancer team, which would be like a dietitian, somebody from the financial part of the deal, radiologist, chemotherapist, and oncologist. And the oncologist basically told me that he figured that I was untreatable. And he listened to my lungs, and he thought there was some fluid in my lungs. And he set me up with an appointment that day to have the fluid drained off my lungs, and they were going to test that fluid. And if it tested the way they had anticipated it should test, if I was untreatable, they would get back to me. I think I told them, if that's the case, don't even bother calling, I'll just know. So I went and I had this fluid taken out of my lungs. Turned out to be over a half a gallon of fluid in my right lung. Oh, I had a hell of a time breathing before that. Well, last couple weeks were really terrible. Now I'm just sort of feeling a little pain when I breathe deep, about in the spot that the cancer is, around my right shoulder area, underneath my right shoulder area. And just kind of pulling myself together and going through all my stuff and throwing out all my shit. I don't figure that I've got long to live, maybe 3-6 months. They said I could go probably a year longer if I got like 5 treatments of radiation. But I'm not even really thinking about that. It's only been a few days, and I just want to get all my stuff settled while I'm still feeling enough energy to do it. All I can say about this lung cancer is it's adenocarcinoma type cancer. It attacks the lining of your organs, and I can't see getting any better, and I just got to pull my shit together. Been living in a fifth wheel next to a little cabin for 10 years. It's just been kind of rough. I haven't really had running water, no water heater or anything like that, you know. Oh, it's been tough. I just want to be able to live comfortably for a while, so I'm going to sell my little house and try and get a cabin or something, a house somewhere, and live out my last few months comfortably, you know, or however long I've got. I keep thinking that people have seen all my videos, and I deleted a lot of my videos about my whole health experience. I had a condition called suicide headaches for 35 years. Spent about 8 years on disability begging for the medication that was available all along and I knew was going to cure me. I finally got it, and 18 months after that, I got cured. Tried to go back to work, and I had a blood clot in my leg. I'd been complaining about it for years, but they kept telling me that it was the medication I was taking. I quit taking the medication, my leg still hurt. Found out I had a blood clot, so that ended it that year. That was 2018, or 19. 2020, I tried to go back to work, looked all summer for work, finally found a job. I'm a drywall contractor, and I got bit by a brown recluse spider about 3 days into it. That ended it for me that year. And then last year, I went back to work, got done with a nice job, and it was actually the first job I did. Took practically all summer to find that, too, and got in a car accident. Some dude decided to do a right-hand turn out of the left lane into the side of my truck, and it thrashed me. I tore a couple of tendons, and kind of led to this. And this year, I really thought, well, man, you know, I'm going to get back to work this year. I'm going to finish my house, you know, everything's going to fly, you know. I was still having little problems with my shoulder, and I was, you know, dragging some ass because I had cancer, you know, I just didn't know it. I'd been dragging ass for like a year and a half, 2 years, and just blaming it on growing old because I'm like 52 years old. You kind of slow down, but not like I was slowing down. I just didn't know it, you know. So, anyhow, here I am. I started the Acme movement. I started this channel before I even knew I had cancer. I got a Facebook page. But, I don't know. I guess the movement either moves on without me or dies where it's at, you know. I just hope I planted the seeds of epiphany within a few people's minds and, you know, got people thinking, you know, there's got to be an alternative way to run this country. It's not working out. I assure you, it's not working the way it is. I racked my brain for years to come up with the ideas I did, you know. It ain't nothing I conjured up in my own mind, I'd heard them from somebody else too. So, you know, I mean, maybe not all of it, but I came up with some of it. But, you know, it's just nothing anybody else wouldn't come up with either. So, anyway, end this video. Don't know if I'll make more. Might make some more shorts. Might enlighten people on the rest of my cancer experience, you know. I'm not going to film down to my last breath or anything, but, you know, just so people kind of understand, you know, cancer is just something they find on accident most of the time. And it was an accident that led to finding my cancer on accident. So, I thought people might like to know what the experience is like. I'll tell you what, having a half gallon of liquid drained off your lungs is no fun. I don't know why it was there, how it got there. The guy doing the job said it was kind of extraordinary. I would have thought it felt like I was goddamn drowning. But, so, if anybody needs a house in northern Michigan, a little tiny cabin, I know where you can find one.